long as nothing happens on this final lap, is definitely going to be the 72 of Joshua Durham. Alright guys, with all that information, we're going to go to a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to have some driver interviews. Because here is Brian Chambliss. He's going to celebrate his win here at Michigan. He's going to do it in style with the burnout. Oh, Sturgill sliding in to celebrate as well. Alright guys, with that, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to have driver interviews. Make sure you guys stay tuned. Oh, Sanchez has gone from an almighty clip. He got hit by the wall. Hello everyone and welcome to the Atlanta Motor Speedway and welcome to the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. I am your commentator, Yosi Sim commentator. We're here for the Output Racing 100 here tonight. This is actually yesterday's race, but someone didn't tell me that there was daylight savings, and I missed it. So we're here bringing you the broadcast today, and it should be a pretty damn good race on our hands. It's Atlanta Motor Speedway, so it is driving like a super speedway. So we'll probably see big draft pack throughout the entire race, and maybe a little bit of action you see there. Brian Pizzicemi, TJ Crampton, tandem drafting up the back straight as they reach Frank Isaacson, who's just come out of the pits and is getting up to speed. And that almost turned very bad. So we're just trying to reduce the format here a little bit, so we're just getting the last 15 minutes of practice. Now this is when all the drivers have done all their testing around a little bit, and they're kind of comfortable with how the car is feeling around the track. At the moment, Joe Slama sitting on top with a 30, or actually no, he's not. Brian Pizzicemi sitting on top with a 29.795, obviously drafted. Oh, 3 wide, and that was a 72 that just about got shoved into the fence. TJ Crampton. There's 4 on the bottom, 4 on top. And the little one said roll over. Oh, and that's where it's all gone wrong. One wrong move and all 8 of these cars just got sent to the Shadow Realm. And that's how easy it could all slip away from these drivers here tonight. Let's just have a squiz at who else is on track. There's Brian Harrison at 8. Jose Marquez looked like he was attempting the pit entry and got it wrong. Frank Isaacson and Travis Massia. Looks like someone amongst these two is having a little bit of issues. As Travis Massia goes around. I would show you the standings for the race, for the practice so far, but they're currently unreliable, since this is a replay rather than the actual live deal. What I can tell you is that it's currently Brian Pizzicemi leading the way with a 29.796. And it's Carl Kraus, Frank Isaacson, Chris Champeau, Mark Pentacuff as your top 5. Jaron Sanchez, Corey Cook, Travis Massia, Thomas Harmon, and TJ Crampton wrapping up your top 10. And it's Hernandez, Marquez, Harris, Stryker, Watson, Slama, and Horton wrapping up your top 17 so far. In fact, there's only going to be 17 drivers in this race. Strength of field of a 28.89. But I'm sure we're going to get at least one more pit party in here today, as we're just over 10 minutes left in the session. And drafting is going to be so important around this track, and learning how your car acts in the draft. Especially since this is not a true super speedway. It's going to play a little bit of havoc with these cars, make them a little bit tight in the long run. See David Stryker there, falling in behind Jonas Marquez. There's James Watson coming out onto the track. Yeah, it looks like it's just a lot of single or two car drafts going on right now. Maybe three if you're lucky. As David Stryker, I guess, technically is in this little pack. In fact, make this a 4-car pack as they've just caught up to the 9 of Joe Slama. Slama looking to slam his stamp of approval on this race and take home a win. And yes, the puns do get worse from here. This is going to become a 5-car pack now, possibly 6. Frank is just up the road. This is what happens when you get a little bit of a draft pack going. You start getting gradually faster and you start catching up to other people on the track. And then your group just starts growing and growing. Oh, as Stryker just struck the fence. And we're still a 5-car pack at the moment. Stryker is just in draft range, but it looks like he's fallen off a little bit. Got Frank trying to utilize that outside line. Got Kyle Kraus in tow. It just can't quite get the run yet. Thomas Harmon just up ahead of these guys. I'm actually surprised that they're not doing more pit parties. I thought with the way that this race was going to play out, that's all they would have been doing this practice session. There's just over 5.5 minutes left in practice. You definitely don't want to be leaving pit road by yourself. Not at this point. At this point, you definitely want to become a part of a group very quickly. Because drafting is going to be so important around this track and figuring out which lane is going to be better, you know, outside versus inside. I mean, look at the run that Pizzichemi and Harmon got. And granted, they are absolutely tandem drafting there. They've just gapped these three like there's no tomorrow. Oh, and around goes Kyle Kraus. And Frank Isaacson hits the fence as well. Marquez hit the fence. Joe Slama is looking to become a more active part of this little group of three. Slama's going to have to work a lot harder if he wants to move forward in this little group of three. Oh, and there was a bit of a bad bump. And don't forget, as per Super Speedway rules, the line rule does come into play at this track. You can't go below that inside line and gain position. Unless, of course, you're trying to avoid a wreck. And it looks like these three made it onto pit road quite safely. And Joe Slama made it to the front. As you can see, we've also got the focus on the pit crew for the 78 car there. Sometimes it's amazing how quickly they work, and other times it's disappointing how slowly they work. As Mark Pentacuff attempted his pit entry and got it all kinds of wrong. Comes at 72 TJ Crampton. There's only just about a minute left in practice. So what we are going to do is we are going to go to a commercial break. So these guys can go off and qualify. When we return, we'll find out how qualifying has played out and where everyone is going to be starting for what is effectively the smallest super speedway on our schedule. So make sure you guys stay tuned. More action from the Output Racing 100 coming up very shortly. Welcome back to the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Output Racing 100. Qualifying is complete. Time for us to start going through our starting order. Kicking things off from the pole is going to be the 92 car of Chris Champeau. Starting out of P2 will be the 42 of David Stryker. With P3, the 72 of TJ Crampton. P4, the 61 of Corey Cook. P5 will be the 13 of Travis Massey. With P6, the 24 of Frank Isaacson. P7 will be the 9 of Joe Slama, with P10 being the 88. P7 is the 9 of Joe Slama, with P8, the 88 of Jonathan Hernandez. P9 will be the 39 of James Watson, as I keep clicking the wrong names, with P10, the 7 of Kyle Kraus. And then we're going to have Mark Pentacuff, Thomas Harmon, Brian Pizzicami, Brian Harris, Jonas Marquez, Matt Horton, and Jaron Sanchez wrapping up the field. So that is your 17-car field to take on the racing action here tonight. 100 laps. And it's all going to be super speedway style with the extra banking that we have around here. Should be a pretty fun little show as well. Alright, the pace car starting to make his way onto the track. There's James Watson in the 39. There's our pole sitter, Chris Champeau. Let's see how much carnage we get here in this race. As I said, it's going to be like a super speedway, so it's going to have all the chance of having a lot of carnage. We'll have to wait and see how it's going to actually unfold. Pace car goes in. The first start is on green. All the restarts are on the leader in the restart zone. And we're off and racing for the Output Racing 100 here at the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And already you can see Chris Champeau and TJ Crampton jumping out to a big lead. David Stryker having to settle for third, not getting the best of starts. And I don't see the 88 Jonathan Hernandez. Looks like we've lost him. So experimenting with them alternate dimensions, and it looks like it's gone wrong for him. But now it is Champeau and Stryker leading the way. Champeau is playing with both lanes here, doing the super speedway thing, trying to get whatever advantage he can. That's usually where things go wrong, when the leader starts defending from both lanes. Corey Cook up there into second now. And that is the Jonathan Hernandez. Looks like he's come out a couple laps down. Still Chris Champeau leading the way. He's currently led all of the laps completed so far. David Stryker sitting in second. Corey Cook leading that inside line. He's got Thomas Harmon on his tail. That usually bodes for good things. But Chris Champeau, as I said, playing both lanes. And that can get very dangerous very quickly. And just look at the sketchiness of everyone going through the tri-oval. Most people try not to hit that apron going through the tri-oval because they know that they'll probably end up with a penalty if they hit it too hard. Oh, that was sketchy. Chris Champeau got a little bit tight, just about ran into David Stryker. Now Chris Champeau stuck in the middle. Looks like he's going to be able to find a gap here now. But there's still 3 wide. And Corey Cook is leading the way. We are going to set the camera to focus on crashes, because everyone's just packed up nice and tightly. Look at how hard they're all racing here. Everyone's driving for their lives. Everyone's just kind of starting to single file out, as I said, at almost contact between Hernandez and Isaacson. We're also seeing people just stringing out here a little bit, so it's not really moving up like I thought it would be. There's still Corey Cook leading the way at the moment from Thomas Harmon, and Brian Harris somehow in third. Here comes that outside line being led by Jonathan Hernandez. Now he is laps down. He's 2 laps down. If he can hit the front of this group and they get a caution, gets a lucky dog wave around, he's back on the lead lap. David Stryker sitting right in behind him. 3 wide we go. Slama the outside. There was Harris in the middle and Watson on the bottom. It looks like that outside lane's holding all the momentum right now. The people still trying to get the inside to work as the 7. Kyle Kraus trying to look for an inside move, trying to get this bottom lane going, but he's got no help. He has temporarily moved into the lead, but Stryker takes it right back as there was no one right up behind Kraus to really help him out there. Just like that, Kyle Kraus has dropped all the way back to P6 behind James Watson, although he moves back in front of James Watson now. all single file action right now, and we're already just about a quarter of the way through this race. Just about to come and complete lap 24. It's still close at the front between Striker and Slama. Looks like Striker this time is going to move to the inside line. I think he's done it the wrong time. He done it when the inside line had negative momentum. He is still in the lead right now, but it looks like he's going to lose it in favor of TJ Crampton. His outside line is just too strong at the moment. I think what we're going to do right now, since we are past a quarter of the way through, is we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have some more racing action here to make sure you guys stay tuned. And we are back here for the Output Racing 100 here on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel. TJ Crampton still leading the way with Thomas Harmon in behind him. They're both following the lap down car of Jonathan Hernandez. As I said, Jonathan Hernandez, he's only one lap down if he stays in front of the whole pack. So if he gets a caution, he'll get the lucky dog and he will be back on the lead lap. Just have to wait and see how it's all going to play out for him here. And another thing you have to think about here too, with about 27 and a half laps to halfway, is if we don't get a caution here, when are you going to come in for your pit stops? And who are you going to be pitting with? With this being a super drafty track, as Thomas Harmon tries to pull to the inside to take the lead, this is not a track where you want to pit by yourself. If you go and pit by yourself, then you're probably going to lose out on a lot of position, just because the draft is so strong. Jonathan Hernandez doing everything he needs to do to try and get these laps back right now. Thomas Harmon still trying to take away that first place from TJ Crampton. I'm going to say second place just because Hernandez is leading that top lane. But every time that Harmon has a run, he just can't take it anywhere. Well, as I think Striker got up and rubbed the wall there a little bit. Caused a little bit of check up in that outside lane. And that definitely fractured the field here a little bit. We also do have a secondary pack. Here is the secondary pack. It's being led by the 64 of Jonas Marquez. You got league owner and operator Jonathan Sanchez. Oh, it's Jaron Sanchez. I just felt like saying Jonathan for him. You got 5 of Mark Pensacough and the 8 of Brian Harris in this little group. And they are currently just about 3 seconds off the main pack. If they stay lined up like this, and well, the lead pack does things like this where they're going 3 wide, that secondary pack will join back up on these guys very quickly. Oh, and there was a loose moment. It was bump drafting gone wrong, which turned very right there for Thomas Harmon off the nose of Brian Pizzakemi. That was super sketchy, but somehow they pulled it off. And somehow this whole time, Jonathan Hernandez has been leading that outside lane. And TJ Crampton in the Catberg seat has just been sitting up his ass. Absolutely enjoying the free draft. As we are starting to get into the realm, the possibility of green flag pit stops, which I don't think many people thought was going to be a possibility. Definitely going to be a game changer. But also, I just noticed that secondary pack is really starting to reel in this front pack. Only 2 seconds the gap now between Marquez and Masia. The front of the second pack here and the back of the front pack. So it won't be too long at all before these guys catch up to that front pack and have something to say about it. Chris Champeau has hit the front once more as that inside line found a little bit of momentum. As the tyres are starting to wear out a little bit, everyone gets that little bit tight. The outside lane still prevails as the checkup on the inside lane just kind of ruined its momentum. We're 4 laps until halfway now. So might start seeing a little bit of wheeling and dealing to do some position stealing in the pits. But still TJ Crampton leading the way. That inside line, the momentum just completely died out. But the inside lane's found a little bit more momentum again. They're 3 wide per second. Pizakemi on the inside. Got Thomas Harmon in the middle. TJ Crampton on the outside. Back down to 2 by 2 we go. We are past halfway. And very shortly we should be seeing some green flag stops. Looks like they've got no takers so far, with 46 to go. But also with the chances of green flag stops, it also increases the chances that we'll see a caution. Oh, we're 3 wide at the front. That's for second. Only 2 of them are actually racing for position. Remember that green and black car, the 88, is now 2 laps down since he's not on the front of the pack. Brian Pizzicami leading away from Thomas Harmon. Kyle Kraus in third. Will we have any takers for the pits this time? The answer is no. Not yet, Mr. Commentator Man. Don't be daft. And I'm surprised there's still no takers yet. When will we see green flag stops? When will we see a caution? These are the important questions. And these are jokes. That outside lane with all the momentum once more. Still no takers for pit stops. These tyres have to be feeling very secondhand. And it's just like everyone is just waiting for a caution to fall. like we've got a few movers to the inside lane now. So we might see pit stops here shortly. Yeah, here we go. Got the 7, the 88, and the 4 in the pits. I think the 24, Frank Isaacson, also in there. Got the 42 in there as well, David Stryker. Here comes the 92 Chris Champeau. And he's got someone else coming in with him. I didn't see who it was. Corey Cook and James Watson actually went in there with him, and should start seeing some of these other cars coming out of the pits shortly. 13 of Travis Massia leaving the pits. I could got a few people with penalties. As the second to last group comes in, Pizzacami, Harmon, Crampton, and Slammer. Only Matt Horton left on track, and he is officially leading this lap. Here's Frank Isaacson and Jonas Marquez. These guys 2 laps down. See, Jonas Sanchez is 3 laps down. And Matt Horton is in now. And it looks like TJ Crampton is going to be our leader on adjustment. Chris Champeau and James Watson try to change that. And they're going to envelop Joe Slama there. TJ Crampton is in the lead all by himself. Got less than a second to these guys. So he will be swallowed up by them shortly. There they go. And now Chris Champeau is going to retake the lead. I just saw someone in chat has jokes about themselves. Oh, and there is a spin. The 7, Kyle Kraus has gone around. And that has brought out the first caution of this race. Back this up and see what happened to him here. So coming through the tri-oval. Got Striker on his outside. Darren Sanchez using all the apron now on the front straight. And it looks like Striker narrowed up his line very quickly, faster than what the 7 of Kyle Kraus was expecting. And around goes Kraus to bring out our first caution of tonight's racing action. With that, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, more action from the Output Racing 100 coming up here shortly. Make sure you guys stay tuned. And we are back here in the Output Racing 100 here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. I just realized this entire time that the ticker has not been working. There we go. Looks like we're going to have Chris Champeau leading the way from James Watson, TJ Crampton, Joe Slammer, Thomas Harmon, Corey Cook, Matt Horton, and Travis Massier. Brian Pizzicami in ninth was the first car a lap down, and he got the Lucky Dog wave around. David Stryker, who was involved in that incident, was meant to be the Lucky Dog wave around, but as he was involved, he did not get it. And we'll restart from 10th. And it's Isaacson, Marquez, and Harris, 11th, 12th, and 13th. They're all a lap down as well. See, the 7 of Kyle Kraus is in the pits. And I heard that the 5 of Mark Pentacuff got caught up a little bit as well, as Kyle Kraus was trying to get turned back around. And he has suffered a bit of damage because of such. The lights are out on the pace car. We're going to restart this time by. Remember, all the restarts are on the leader inside of the restart zone. And the pace car pulls in. And we're off and racing. Chris Champeau waited till the very end of the restart zone to get going there. Looks like TJ Crampton resuming what he was doing in that first run before the pit stop cycle. Sitting right up behind the guy leading the outside lane. See Thomas Harmon sitting there in third. James Watson in fourth, that outside line. Dominating positions right now. There were 3 wide back there. Close quarters action for Corey Cook. And the 42 David Stryker just about forced Jonas Marquez onto the apron there on the back straight. Stryker still in the middle of 3 wide. Somehow making it work. He gets around Corey Cook. But it's not for position as Stryker is a lap down. Whereas Stryker is battling Isaacson for the lucky dog position. And now he is stuck behind Frank. There's your battle for the lucky dogs anyway. As Jonas Marquez also in that battle for lucky dog. He's now just taken the lucky position. But he is on the inside lane. That could be to his advantage at the moment since the inside lane is so unpopulated. But it could also be to his detriment considering how hard they've been checking up on that inside lane. Well, Matt Horton, he thought about going in the middle for a second and then pulled out of it. The Striker was thinking about the middle lane there as well. The battle is back on for Lucky Dog, and I saw some contact. And Frank's in the fence. Came off the nose of Striker. I'm not sure whether there was Frank coming down or Striker coming up. There was definitely contact. And now Frank is all the way at the back. Slama and Champo battling it out for the lead. Oh, and there's a bump. And we have another crash. The 8 of Harris and the 72, TJ Crampton involved on the front straight. That's going to bring out another caution here. Go back and take another look at this and see what unfolded. Coming out turn 4. Crampton's in the middle of 3 wide. He loses a little bit of momentum there. He's drifted up the track. He's still 3 wide. This time with Stryker and Harris. Oh, and Stryker just drives down the track and into Crampton, which in turn puts him into Harris. Corey Cook very lucky to escape this crash unscathed. No damage on the 61 car. You can see there's a lot of damage on that 8. His right front is stuffed. And the 72 with quite a bit of damage as well. This is going to mix things up a little bit here. Chris Champeau leading the way from Joe Salama. And this also means Jonas Marquez will be the lucky dog wave around as Stryker was involved in another caution in which he should have been the lucky dog. Right, things out of place. My OBS said it shouldn't have been out of place. I had to fix that real quick. There goes Jonas around the field. So now we have 10 cars on the lead lap, which means that your top 10 will be Champo, Slama, Harmon, Watson, Masia, Horton, Cook, Puzakemi, Cranton, and Marquez. First car, one lap down, is the 42 of David Stryker, who has been in the wars a little bit here. He is joined one lap down by Frank Isaacson and Mark Pentacuff. League owner and operator Jaron Sanchez 2 laps down in 14th. Unfortunately, we've lost Kyle Kraus, Brian Harris, and Jonathan Hernandez from this race. Alright, the lights are out on the pace car. We're getting back into the 2x2 formation so we can get back to going green here. And we just have 15 laps to go when we get the green flag. There'll still be plenty of opportunities for these guys to try and make some overtakes in this time. Got Frank Isaacson restarting from 11th. But here we go, the pace car goes in. Remember, the leader has control when they hit the restart zone. And Chris Champo chooses to wait to the very back of the box once more. We're often racing with just 15 laps to go here in the Output Racing 100 here from the Atlanta Motor Speedway. And Chris Champo immediately jumps up in front of that top lane, taking the lead with a vengeance. And Joe Slama giving him a big push going through turns 1 and 2. And now Joe Slama steps out. He's going to try and take the bottom lane and take the advantage. We're going to put the camera on focus on crashes. We're looking at TJ Crampton. He's right at the back of this pack. And look at the moves being made. Corey Cook from the bottom to the top. There is a 39 of James Watson. He's going to go 3 wide in the middle. He's getting shuffled back as the 89 of Matt Horton trying to run that outside line. But it looks like he's been shafted. No one wants to go with him on the outside line just yet. We have just 13 laps to go now. What action are we going to have unfold here? Still 3 wide in the middle of the pack. We see Joe Slama and Chris Champo battling wildly for that lead. It looks like the 13, Travis Masia, having a little mistake there. And he's now stuck in the middle. Oh, he got loose. Oh, and around goes Stryker. And that is going to bring out another caution in this race. Let's back this up and have another look at it. So you see Travis there, he's trying to run that middle lane. It looks like he's just gotten a little bit loose there. And the striker's coming up. They've just made contact. Around goes Striker. And this is the third instance Striker's been involved in. So 3 strikers, and you're out. I'm kidding. But Striker definitely going to have a little bit of damage on the left side of that car now. Going to make it a little bit evil for it to handle. And with that caution, Frank Isaacson will now be back on the lead lap. What we're going to do is we're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, more racing action here from the Output Racing 100 from the Atlanta Motor Speedway will be coming up shortly. Well, welcome back to the Atlanta Motor Speedway for the Output 100. And as you can see, Joe Slama leading the way from Chris Champeau. And Frank Isaacson just took his wave around, so we have 11 cars back on the lead lap. And we've got a few bruised egos and a few bruised cars out there at the moment. But your order is Joe Slama from Chris Champeau, James Watson, Brian Pizzicemi, Matt Horton, Thomas Harmon, Corey Cook, TJ Crampton, Jonas Marquez, and Travis Masia as your top 10. Frank Isaacson, obviously 11th, as he was the lucky dog wave around. There he is. And it's Mark Pentacuff, who is 1 lap down, David Stryker 2 laps down, Jaron Sanchez, who is 7 laps down. Unfortunately, Kyle Kraus, Brian Harrison, Jonathan Hernandez, non-finishers in this race. We're going to get the green with just 8 laps to go here. And it's going to be on Joe Slama to choose a lane. The leader has lane choice. And it looks like he's choosing outside lane for the restart here. That's very interesting. So Slama, Champeau, Watson, Pizzicemi, Horton. No, it's Slama, Champeau, Watson, Pizzicemi, Horton, Harmon, Crampton, Cook, Marquez, Masia, Isaacson. The lights are out on the pace car. We'll go green this time by. This now truly is a sprint race on a super speedway. There's no strategy left. Try and find your friends and hope it works. It looks like we've got a few people experimenting with some alternate dimensions further down the line. Hope they get that sorted out before the race goes green again. And here we go. Green flag racing. Salama choosing to jump slightly earlier than what Chris Champeau has been doing. And Salama now leads the race, going into turn 1 with 8 laps to go. And Brian Pizzakemi, after being a lap down, is up there in third. In fact, he's going to go for second now in the outside lane as there's no one pushing on the inside. And it is Champeau, Pizzakemi, and Horton leading the way. And look at that in 5th place, TJ Crampton. He was involved in a wreck just a couple of cautions ago. And he is up there in the 5th position. And he has a legitimate shot at taking the win here. Here we go. We're looking at this little second pack here, which is Watson, Slama, Marquez, and Masia. And it looks like Slama not wanting to just sit in the back and wait for it. He's going to try and move forwards here. We still have potential for another caution. Here goes Brian Pizzakemi now, looking to the inside of Champeau, and everyone dodges around Champeau. No one wants to be behind him. And officially, Pizzakemi led that lap 3 wide for second, as Matt Horton gets shuffled towards the back. Now Pizzakemi takes over the lead at the outside lane. He gets a bump from Chris Champeau. That allows them to accelerate past Joe Salama. So it's Pizzakemi, Champeau, and then Harmon and Salama side by side for third. To the inside this time goes Champeau. But I think he chose his move at the wrong time. I'm not sure he's going to get Pizzakemi cleared. And he doesn't. Salama right on his tail, giving him a big push though. But it's not going to be quite enough. He's still side by side for third with TJ Crampton. And as I said, Crampton visibly carrying damage on this 72 car. Speedway Memes Motorsports car. He's got damage on the left front. He's got damage on the right, on the left rear as well. But somehow he's up here in this top 5, battling for a win. Pizzakemi still leading the way though. Still with Thomas Harmon on his tail. Chris Champeau on the inside with Joe Salama as his rear gunner. Got 5 on the outside, 4 on the inside. 2 laps to go. It looks like that outside line starting to take the advantage, as the 38 of Thomas Harmon has just pushed Pizzakemi clear of that inside lane. The inside lane with a lot of checkup. That's actually allowed TJ Crampton to clean and clear, have third position. As we come out of turn 4, it's going to be white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it. Pizzakemi still leading away from Harmon and Crampton. Onto the back straight for the final time. Who is it going to be? Oh, there's a little bit of a touch. There's a little bit more of a touch. Around goes Crampton. It's anarchy as everyone is wrecking. Where are our leaders? Go back to our leaders. Side by side, Harmon and Pizzakemi coming to the line. There's a little bit of touching. And the winner is going to be Brian Pizzakemi. Thomas Harmon came home second. And James Watson and the 39 car coming home for P3. Jonas Marquez ended up finishing 4th with Travis Masia in 5th. And Frank Isaacson as well, coming home P7 there in a very, very decent effort. And there's Joe Salama. He's still just trying to finish his race. And there we go. He's just finished now. Salama finishing a very disappointing 11th place after looking so strong that whole race. But here we go now. It's time for Brian Pizzicami to burn some rubber, celebrate his win. Eventually, when he feels like it. Here we go. He hasn't had to do one of these burnouts for a while, so he's a little unpracticed. And this is actually his first official win on a Tuesday night. Normally his wins come on Thursdays or when we do the winter series, which is obviously just a little bit of fun. But Brian Pizzicami, your winner here at Atlanta. Thomas Harmon second, James Watson third, Jonas Marquez fourth, Travis Massier fifth. But with that, we are going to end the broadcast. Make sure you come and check us out next week when we go to the Autodromo Nacional Monza. That's right, we're going international. We're going to go do 22 laps of the Monza circuit for the Team Watson Racing Setups 120K. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But until next week, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys in Italy.